What's up guys? So last night I went and saw Birds of Prey, the Fantabulous, last night I went and saw the Birds of Prey movie, and it's been a while since I've done a film review, so I thought I'd give you my 2 cents. But before I do that, if you do enjoy this kind of content about comic books and collectibles and nerd stuff, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. But yeah, this is a spoiler review for the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. How cool is this tin? Let's do this. Alright, so when I first saw the trailer to this movie, I really wasn't impressed, but as they brought out more trailers, I did start to come around a little bit. I started to think, this movie looks like a fun movie now, but at the same time, I sort of got that vibe like, it looks like a fun movie, but I can't imagine it being a good movie. And I feel like that's exactly what I got. Now my 2 friends that I went with, who are long-time comic book readers, they loved this movie. They thought it was great. For me, I really enjoyed watching it because I'm new to the world of comic books, so I'm always fascinated in this stuff. And I'm not one of them long-time guys who are going to watch something like this and be like, oh my god, it's so crap, they didn't pay tribute to this. Or, you know, I just enjoy watching this kind of stuff. So I did enjoy watching the movie, but when I say that I didn't necessarily think it was a good movie, what I mean by that is, if I say something is a good movie, I have to be able to recommend it to anyone. I have to be able to say to someone, oh my god, it's amazing, you have to go see it, right? And you might be able to say that to some comic book fans, but I couldn't confidently say you need to go see this movie. I would just say, look, it's enjoyable, it's fun, but was it great? I don't know about that. Didn't really like the casting for the movie, and I really didn't like the costume designs. They were awful. I don't really think any of them really paid tribute to the comic book characters and what they look like. Huntress was probably the closest one, and mainly because she had a hood. And Black Mask looked okay in the end. Now, I don't know a lot about the Birds of Prey characters, or really any of the characters in this story, in this movie, sorry. I obviously know about Harley Quinn, and I've said before in many of my videos that I don't like the silly Harley Quinn, which is how she's sort of portrayed in her solo comic book series. I like the dark Harley Quinn stories, you know, the ones where she's, you know, getting physically abused by the Joker. You know, I like the dark ones because that's where the first story I ever read of Harley Quinn was actually, what was it, a death of the family, and it was a very dark story, and I was actually quite surprised. I wasn't expecting it, so I kind of prefer that kind of Harley that's more in that sort of dark world. And the only other character I really knew about was Black Mask. I do know a bit about Black Mask, and I've read a few stories with him in it. I believe he was in Under the Red Hood, and I have read about him in, I believe he was at the start of Red Hood Rebirth. So yeah, I do know a little bit about Black Mask. And look, I know the names of the characters. I know Huntress, and I know Black Canary, and I've heard the name Cassandra Cain. I just don't know really much about those characters because I haven't really read much. I know Black Canary showed up in a few stories I've read, but Black Mask, I guess I've watched the Red Hood animation, as well as he showed up in, like I said, the Red Hood comic. The thing I didn't like about Black Mask was that he hardly had the mask on. Some people when they saw the trailer was like, why is they don't show him with the mask? It was obvious that he was going to put the mask on by the end of the movie. I just thought it would have been, he would have just come off more menacing if he always had the black mask on. I don't remember really him taking the mask off in the stuff that I've seen or read. My mate Stu says no, he takes the mask off all the time, but for me, I've really known him to have the mask on. So for me, I just think he would have come off a lot more menacing, a lot more mysterious if he had the mask on for the whole movie. I would have much preferred that. And it was obviously a different take on the Black Mask. Like Ewan McGregor was very, you know, so yeah, obviously they wanted to do it a little bit different, but yeah, that's my opinion. I just thought they should have kept the mask on him the whole time. Have Ewan McGregor play him, that's fine, but you know, it would have been even better. People would have been like, oh my god, that was Ewan McGregor under that mask? That would have been cooler. So yeah, I guess the thing about this movie was, like I said, I don't know a lot about the Birds of Prey, but I'm gonna guess if you were a fan of the Birds of Prey comics, I can't imagine you saying, oh, this was a great tribute to Birds of Prey. I just can't see that happening. Because, I mean, one thing I do know about Birds of Prey is Batgirl's part of the Birds of Prey, right? Where was she? It was just a weird way to do this movie. So yeah, as a Birds of Prey movie, I thought this movie kind of sucked. But as a Harley Quinn movie, it was great. As a Harley Quinn movie, it really showed every aspect of Harley. It was fun, it was silly, while still being adult, being very violent. The violence really surprised me, as well as the, you know, the swearing and things like that. I like how DC is sort of going down this route again, because the whole comic books are for kids. I feel like this is just putting that stuff to rest. It showed the fun, silly side of Harley mixed with the violent and adult side. You know, had a bit of you know, her being abused too. You know, Black Mask slapped her around a few times, so you know, that kept me happy. So as a Harley Quinn movie, I thought it was great, and it did show every aspect of Harley. Like, my favorite part of the movie was the Black Widow trailer that played before the movie started. That was actually a joke. And my favorite part of the movie was actually the action sequences with Harley Quinn. The scene where she shows up to the cop shop, it's quite a lengthy scene from memory, and she starts shooting everyone with flares and just kicking ass. I loved it. Like, it really, like, her fighting really I think was very reminiscent of the way she is in her comic books. So yeah, I really enjoyed the action sequences with Harley and her kicking ass. And look, you know, who doesn't love, you know, a babe kicking ass, right? So yeah, all those fight scenes and stuff, it was all visually stunning, very fun to look at. Margot Robbie is great to look at. But yeah, I just feel like the other characters just weren't well represented. Like I said, I don't know much about the Birds of Prey characters, but I just can't imagine comic book fans being happy with the way they were portrayed. Even though I know nothing about them, I could just tell I don't think they're doing a good job with these characters. I just thought the actors they picked were odd. The actress for Black Canary wasn't too bad. I didn't like any of her costumes. Like, it just felt like they paid no tribute to what she's supposed to look like. I just can't imagine like Canary fans, you know, digging on the costumes there. Maybe they did, I don't know. Like I said, this is just my opinion. Opinion based! And it's an opinion of a noob. And the way the movie ended, it's like, where does this movie lead? Like, it really showed that being a Birds of Prey movie was a waste of time, because at the end, obviously, Harley parts ways and it's just like, you guys are fine on your own. And we know damn well there's not going to be a Birds of Prey 2. You know damn well that is not happening. I just found it really odd the way that sort of ended as well. They need to just make a Harley Quinn movie. If this movie was just called The Fantabulous Emancipation of Harley Quinn, One Harley Quinn, whatever, I think the movie just would have just had a better feel to it, I guess. And like the whole thing with her at the end taking Cassandra Cain in. Now, as far as I'm aware, one thing I do know about Cassandra Cain is she was Batgirl at one point. So wouldn't it make sense to leave the girl with them and maybe she could be their Batgirl? You know, it just, yeah, just little things like that seem like would have made sense. But she took Cain and is like, I've decided to hire her as my assistant. Is that really going to happen? Is there going to be a Harley Quinn movie next where Cassandra Cain is her assistant? Again, I don't know if that's going to happen. And if it doesn't, they really have to explain what happened, you know what I mean? So yeah, look, I did enjoy watching it. And when I say, I'm not trying to crap on it when I say I can't say that it's a good movie. I'm just saying, look, I enjoyed watching Justice League, but I wouldn't go say it's a fantastic movie. I just enjoyed watching it. But you know, there's parts in it where I'm just like, oh, this is bad. But you know, I just enjoyed watching it. I enjoy watching these type of films. Suicide Squad, I did not think that was a good movie at all, but I did enjoy watching it. While I'm sitting there watching it, it's just, I feel like the reason this movie is better than Suicide Squad is because it had a story and it stuck to it. Suicide Squad had a story and then just kind of forgot all about it and went all over the place. So yeah, for me, a movie doesn't have to be great for me to say I enjoyed it and I liked it, you know what I mean? When I say a movie's great, it has to be in a sense that I thought it was great in every aspect where I could recommend it to people. And if you're a comic book fan, you're probably obviously going to see it. But yeah, I just don't feel like the characters are really well represented. I do like Margot Robbie as Harley. I think I've heard a lot of people say that she's, you know, ruined the Harley Quinn character, where I think she's great as Harley Quinn, to be honest. I just feel like the other characters, yeah, and like I said, I didn't even know anything about these characters, but I just didn't feel like they were doing anybody any justice. Anyway, that's all from me. The movie came out last night, so we saw it the first day. By the time this video comes out, the movie will probably have been out for maybe about a week or so. So if you have seen it, please let me know in the comments what you thought of the movie. Let me know your opinions, your pros and cons. Let me know how much you think I'm wrong or whatever. And if you do just enjoy Harley Quinn talk, I'm going to leave a link at the end of this video to one of my other Harley Quinn videos where I talk about my favorite versions of Harley Quinn, my favorite art, and I think I talk a little bit about her animated series. I watched the first episode, that's all I've really seen. But I'll leave a link to that video if you want to check that out. That's all from me. My reviews are terrible, I know, that's why I don't do them often, but I just thought it seemed appropriate to do this movie because I love me some Harley. That is my Birds of Prey review. That is my girlfriend that I wish I had. I'm Simple Simon. Keep it simple.